had this epiphany today, and I was just thinking that, like, us as humans, we really are just, our identity is really just a result of the 10 people that we're closest to, or the 10 people that we're frequently around. You know, we build habits, we say things or do things that they do, and it's like a natural thing for humans to become just like them, or like say something just like them, do something just like them, because I believe that us as humans we're just completely interconnected. It's the same thing like with how humans, one person yawns and everybody is yawning, or one person sneezes, it causes another person to sneeze. One person throws up, it causes another person to throw up. When women are frequently together, they have the same period pattern, something like that. There's just so much science behind it, but I feel like us as humans, like we genuinely are just a result of the 10 people that we're closest around. So I feel like it's very important that we just make sure that the people that we decide to hang around provide value to our lives, or we'll just be going down a rabbit hole of guilt because we'll, regret the decisions we made when we were younger due to the people that we were around. Sometimes it's not even a decision that we made. It might be a decision that somebody we hung around made, and the fault went back on you as well, because sometimes you don't have to be the one in the wrong and you still get charged for it. So I feel like it's just very important that you have to remember humans are just completely interconnected, and it's very natural for us to just act like each other. As in, I might act this specific way based off how this other person is acting. This whole entire thing of matching energy, we match energy to everyone. Like, we'll always match energy. As in, if you are around somebody who frequently, not frequently, it's really just in their character, like they've built this character, they're just a variation of the 10 people closest to them, but they've built this character of being completely closed off. As in, they don't speak about their emotional status, they don't speak about any problems they're having. They try and like confine it and act like there's nothing going on with them, and you can tell they're in a mood or in an attitude or whatever. You ask them what's wrong, they say nothing, and they try and keep going with their life, but it's just like you can clearly tell that something is wrong, but they will refuse to speak about it because they think in their head that they can handle everything going on. If you're around somebody who's like that very frequently, let's say that is probably your significant other, that's probably your boyfriend or girlfriend who acts like that, you will believe that you can do the same thing. As in, nobody's going to feel comfortable in doing something that their significant other feels that they can't do. If one person doesn't feel they're emotionally available enough to open up and speak about problems they're having in their lives that's affecting their everyday mood and even affecting their attitude towards their partner, if they can't speak about that, then the other person is going to feel the exact same way. Why would he or she want to speak about, problems she's having when you can't do the same thing? So then they're going to, as I was saying, attribute the same characteristic that you have, and now when problems occur to them, they're going to tell everybody that nothing is going on, and they'll constantly be in a mood because they're not able to let go of any, emotion that they're holding on to because they can't speak about it, because it's been trained in their head now due to the person they're around that they shouldn't they don't need to tell anybody anything. They don't need to, talk about their feelings at all. Nothing. So when that ends up being the case, people will just, it affects their like attitude towards everyone else around them, friends, family, whatever. It's always going to affect everybody else, but this is all just due to the person that you're frequently around. So this doesn't even just like relate to significant other, but also family and also friends, because sometimes we see it in our parents where they don't want to tell us problems they're going through, And then we feel like, especially if we're only children who, who just don't have a backbone to lay to, like they don't have a sibling to talk about their problems with, especially if it's going on with their parents, because they can't tell their friends or they can't tell any other family members, because it's just not gonna they're not going to relate the same way a sibling would, because they're going through the same thing. So even, kids that are like only children, and they see their parents just like completely shut out, you ask them what's wrong, they still say nothing and act like there's no problem going on, and they don't talk about anything that's, any problems going on with their life. It just you're training your child to act the exact same way, where they're not going to feel comfortable telling you what's wrong with them because you've never done the same for them. They can clearly see there's something wrong with you, but you're going to try and push and act like there's nothing wrong, so they're going to build the same characteristic. It's just due to you, the them always being around the parent. That's just what ends up happening. So, sometimes when we have this identity, we all have this identity in our head of who we want to be, but it's very difficult to get there when we hang around the wrong people. We might hang around someone who is drunk, and we might be strong-willed enough to not be an alcoholic. I'm saying not drunk. I'm saying like, we might be friends with someone who's an alcoholic, but we're strong-willed enough to not become an alcoholic. But that doesn't mean you're not going to pick up other, characteristics from that alcoholic. Maybe that alcoholic is lazy. You're going to pick up the same lazy habits. If all your friends are lazy, all your friends do is sit on the game, do basically really do nothing that will benefit them in any way, shape, or form, like nothing, you will attribute those, same exact characteristics. And that's just because, oh, he's doing it, so it must be okay. As long as I'm not the only one doing it, as long as I'm not the only one laying in bed right now and it's 2 p.m., just waking up because I went to bed at 4 a.m., as long as I'm not the only one, then it's really not anything, because my friend George just did the same thing. My friend, my like whatever. My friend Jackson just did the same thing. It's just like we will always pick up traits from the people that we're around. So just remember, when you're trying to become the person in your head that you want to be, you want to form into that identity, you have to really let go of the people that you're around, or let go of, regardless of who it is, even if it's a parent, like you have to be able to let go of the negative that's in your head or negative in your life in order for there to be any positive outcome, because it's impossible for you to really grow, but you're being held down by the people around you just because you have love for them. Unfortunately, you're gonna have to cut them loose. You want to be the person you want to be, you have to cut these. That's the sacrifice you have to make. You have to cut the people around you that serve no value to you loose, so that you can, grow as a person. So, if you've made it this far, thank you for watching, and God bless.